All right, are we good to go? I think we are. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we, everybody? Yeah, let's go ahead and get started, since everything looks like it's to be on the up and up. Whew. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm already on the wrong screen. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right, I just had to do a double check there. Thank you for being patient, everybody. Want to make sure things are still working properly since I'm trying another stream today. And I honestly feel it might be time for me to get a new Ethernet cable because I called my ISP and they told me, hey, everything's good on our end, so it could be a actual hardware issue. Yeah, I'm making sure that everything is good, double checking everything. Let me just refresh the playback. You guys let me know if everything's running smooth or if it isn't. All right. All right. So I'm just looking at the playback. Everything seems to be in order. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Gearbox main theater show at PAX East in 2025. And this showed earlier today, but I was doing a stream of what were your favorite video games earlier. So it kind of conflicted with me doing a reaction to this whole thing. And it wasn't until Godjiel got my attention and I was talking to him that he says, like, oh, I'm watching this whole thing. I'm shocked that you didn't do a reaction to it. Because I thought I was under the impression that we weren't going to be having any new information concerning this. So let me go ahead and get the sound going so you guys are able to hear what's going on as well. So let me just fast forward until we get to the Borderlands 4 section of the video. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Hybrid, it's good to see you. And of course, that's like extra content for Risk of Rain 2. It's time.
Wow.
All right.
That
so
looks
I skipped
so
over
good. I
the
cannot
entirety.
wait to get my hands on it. All right. So
I skipped
now,
over the Sorry. I skipped over pretty much a
So
good
good.
chunk
I
of the
cannot wait to get my
Gearbox
hands
main
on
theater
it.
show,
All right.
simply
So
because I'm
now,
interested
thank
in
you for
Borderlands
thank you,
4.
Roger Bruno.
So
That
I
was
hope you
great.
guys don't mind,
Now
but
I
that's
wanna
pretty much
bring
the
on
only
the
thing that
stage
I'm
two of my
really
best friends
here
from
paying
Gearbox.
attention to.
Please put your hands together for Randy Pitchford, founder of Gearbox Entertainment, and Andrew Reiner, our Global Chief Creative Officer. Hello, gents.
Hello.
Hi.
Randy, how's your PAX going?
Oh my God. You guys haven't, who's played Risk? Has anybody played Risk of Rain 2? Like, holy shit. The game, like for a humble, dude, this is like, they're 25 bucks, man. Just do it. It's freaking great. I'm addicted to this game, this humble little thing that just, and there's like 10 million people that have jumped on. If you haven't tried it yet, you owe it to yourself to check it out. It's freaking awesome. I freaking love it. And I'm here right now with you guys. We're here together.
Amazing.
And I get to talk about Borderlands 4.
Yes, more Borderlands
how's your
4
PAX?
news.
I'm
I
having
want
an
it.
absolute blast. I love this show. PAX
It's
is
the
one of the
best.
best shows. I've been going to video game shows since 1995.
Holy shit.
And PAX is one of the best in embracing the community. and bringing gamers
1995?
together. It's so much fun to just sit and talk games with all of you and seeing all the cosplay. Look at this front row.
I'll let you guys get to it. Have a great conversation.
All right.
I thought something was. I
Yeah.
thought something happened to my
we
feed
doing
there,
this?
but
Most
they
of the
had like a
Vault
little bit of
Hunters here.
a
This is great.
Yeah,
little blurb
holy
there.
shit. Look
I
at
thought that was
Look
me.
at
I thought that was
This
me.
is trouble over here.
I want some photos with you guys later. Is that cool? Awesome, awesome. Hell yeah, hell yeah.
All right. Should
All right,
we get
let's
to it?
do it. Yeah.
All right.
cool.
So
Who
just
got-
a little table setting here. You know, we recently released the PlayStation State of Play Showcase. Deep dive, 20 minutes, giving you a primer of what the game is. Today, we're going to go a little deeper into the game and kind of show you some of the things you've been asking questions about. I actually have community questions that I got online that we'll be asking as we go about this. But it's not just going to be Randy and me talking today.
Questions!
We have developers from Gearbox here. The team's hard at work on the game right now, but they took some time to answer your questions and be here with you today. So please give a warm, loud welcome to April Johnson, our Associate Narrative Director. Nick Thurston, Lead Game Designer. And Grant Cow, Associate Creative Director.
So Randy Pitchford, Andrew Reiner, April Johnson, Nick Thurston, and Grant Cow. All right.
You guys ready?
What we gonna learn today, though?
Ready.
Are you guys ready? Dude, how, like, okay, before, like, we moved the date up. Did you guys see that?
Yes.
When does that ever happen? Everybody was like, oh, yeah, GTA 6. Like, dude, we had no idea. We discovered it when you guys did. We've got this, you guys. This game is in great shape. We're cooking. We are cooking. We are cooking. We are cooking.
Yeah, baby.
All right, sorry, Reiner, go ahead.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question
Okay,
first,
okay,
Randy. So, yeah, stay on the edge of your seat here. This is an intense question. No, you've been involved with every Gearbox release so far.
Yeah.
That's every Borderlands game, of course. Brothers in Arms.
Yeah.
You even worked on like Half-Life game, Duke Nukem. You've seen it all. You've done it all. How do you feel at this moment in time where we're at with Borderlands 4?
It's pretty good. We're on offense, you guys. Like, look, sometimes we're like white knuckling to the landing, you know? And look, we got a lot of work to do. We're working our asses off. But the momentum is insane. The velocity is insane. I don't think we've ever been in a better spot this far from launch as we are right now with Borderlands 4. And I'm really, really stoked because I kind of need a game like this right now, you know? I kind of need this. So I'm stoked to play it. I just can't wait to get it done so we can all play together. You guys want to play together? Yeah.
So let's go back to the end of Borderlands 3, kind of connect the dots for people. Just spend a few seconds before we get to the new stuff, setting the story, Randy. Lilith teleported Elpis away. Why did she do that? What was the purpose of this?
Yeah, so you know, like with the numbered sequels, we're on a continuum with a story, and at the end of Borderlands 3, everything that we knew was at stake. Pandora itself, the planet that everybody lived on, was a vault, and the moon of Elpis was the key. And if the key went into the vault, Lilith and all of her friends would die. So she effectively sacrificed herself to save everyone and bamfed Elpis away. But where did it go? Where did it go? And now we know. It went to this other place on the other side of the galaxy, a new place that we call Kairos.
In April, this is a community question that I saw online. Where are the rest of the Crimson Raiders?
So the rest of the Crimson Raiders, they just cannot give up on Lilith. There's always this hope for them. So they have split up trying to find her throughout the galaxy. So we haven't seen the end of them, but we're going to get to visit with some of them in Borderlands 4.
And we know the Timekeeper is our big bad in Borderlands 4.
Boy, howdy.
And he rules Kairos with an iron fist, or a golden fist, but we don't know much about him, his motivations. Can you walk us through who the Timekeeper is?
So the Timekeeper wants everything under control. He doesn't want anything to deviate from his vision of what Kairos needs to be. And to maintain that control, he does what, you know, you're going to do, which is planet-wide propaganda.
Kind of reminds me of
outlawing
Brainiac.
Vault hunting, doesn't want anything to do with vault hunters. And, you know, I mean, if you're going to do it, you might as well have a massive, unyielding army, which is our Order army. And then, you know, you could get a cybernetic implant, put that in everybody's back, and, you know, just control them into submission. So, yeah, he holds Kairos very tightly, and he is clever and he is calculating. But when Elpis comes in and is basically like knocking on the door of the Veil of Kairos,
Very rudely.
rudely, we might see the timekeeper struggling to maintain that control. And, you know, you get a couple of vault hunters involved.
The dudes had it locked down for like thousands of years.
Thousands.
And suddenly,
So here's my thing. Here's my thing hearing that. So this is a boss that has essentially... Hold on. So this is a boss that's essentially been a boss since before Borderlands 1, before Handsome Jack, before the Calypso twins. This is a boss that's essentially just been over everybody. That's always been there. Before... Now here's my thing. If he's existed for thousands of years, was he around when the first sirens first showed? Because that's actually a scary thought. This man has been around since potentially where the first siren showed up. I'm just saying, this is just a thought. This is just a thought. If he's been around for forever, he's probably been around enough to know who sirens are, their power, and this is Borderlands' oldest villain. How old is he?
Asphalt has to show up and wreck his shit. He's not cool with that.
So what's happening on the surface now that Elpis is here?
So now that Elpis is here, the people of Kairos didn't really have anything other than abject control in their lives. And so when Elpis comes in, I mean, these people see the stars, like the reality of the stars for the first time. And they start to go, what if there's more? And of course, there's always the first. So someone took the risk of ripping the bolt out of their spine and out of their neck and encouraged everyone to seek that same freedom. Now, the risk of that is you might have a little bit of a personality change, or you might just vomit and die. High risk, high reward, as we say in the biz. So we're gonna see a lot of unique personalities and how ripping out these bolts has affected the community. And you're also going to see how the pressure of remaining under this control, where there's hope and where people are trying to find each other to escape this and make Kairos better for them. I mean, as good as you can get shit in the Borderlands.
Let's dive into our Vault Hunters. We have 4 new ones in this game.
Yes, let's talk Vault
I'm gonna
Hunters.
ask this to both April and Nick here. So April, talk about who they are, and Nick, maybe give us some new tidbits on gameplay. Let's start with Vex the Siren. She's not your typical siren.
Vex!
She's not. Vex is a bit newer to her siren powers, and she didn't always have a lot of the best situations growing up, and she knows that a lot of bad things happen, even if you're a good person. And with this sort of awakening of her siren powers, she can finally do something about it. And where that sort of manifests for her is a little spooky and a little cool.
Hold on. Oh, we get the name of all of it. So her abilities are Incarnate, Dead Ringer, which is the one that brings up like the Grim Reaper shades, and apparently one that can use a gun as well, and Phase Familiar. Abilities. Ooh! If we're gonna go over Vex, then we're more than likely gonna go over Harlow, and we're also gonna go over Amon to figure out what they can do as well. Because also, we can go over Rafa because we don't know what Rafa can do. We don't know what Rafa can do.
And if you're gonna, kick some bad guys in the teeth, you might as well do it with a bunch of Reapers and a big kitty cat.
Yeah, I mean, like you already said, she's definitely the spookiest siren we've ever had. She's the first siren that can physically manifest physical beings into existence, right? Like you saw her phase cat Trouble. She can summon Reapers and Specters, which is her third action skill that we'll talk about in a little bit. And she's also the first siren who focuses a lot on kinetic damage. She can actually switch between all the elements, but there's a heavy hook there for those of you who enjoy like lifesteal or draining the souls of your enemies. So that's pretty cool.
In April,
yeah, Kitty's gonna love this
from the
class.
first day I saw
I'm gonna love this
a
class
cat
too.
in the game, it was named Trouble. Like
Yeah.
there wasn't a placeholder name.
Nope.
I wrote, I was like, that shouldn't change. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Where did that name come from?
I don't know. Nick. Where did that name come from?
So Graham, the creative director, kind of always told me that every good witch has a good cat by her side, a good cat familiar. And I have a good cat familiar at home too. His name is Trouble, and I just kind of put it in the game. I'm like, I'm gonna name him after my cat. So it just kind of stuck, and I'm pretty happy about it.
Okay, so at least
Hey,
we got
Nick,
the
let me ask you a
inspiration for where trouble comes from.
Do you think we could get your other cat's name in a Borderlands game?
My other cat's named Nisha,
Okay, fair.
so already taken.
All right, let's dive into Rafa. His backstory is really wild.
Rafa, ugh, wow. So Rafa grew up in microgravity, and this had a permanent effect on his bones, his muscles, his organs. So he would struggle to live anywhere else, which sort of isolated him, and he has got a lust for life and wants to be out there and doing things. So along comes Tedior and gives him this exosuit. And because Tedior is gonna Tedior, he could die at any moment. The suit could kill him. So ironically, the thing that gave him the ability to explore the universe and the world and like have this big life is also this thing that could kill him. But he just rolls with it. He lives every moment to the fullest, and he's playful and energetic and charming, and he's really kinetic as like a vault hunter. And that's really reflected in his dialogue. I mean, he's so charming that even the enemies have things to say about that. And I think that like fluidity of his movement, you can really see that in his skill trees and his action skills.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
What
like you
are
said,
his
charisma could
skills,
kill,
though?
You use that as a weapon, but unfortunately, it doesn't do much. So instead, he has energy blades. He's got laser guns. He's got shoulder-mounted cannons that some of our fans at home already spotted in the previous trailer. And yeah, he's easily our most agile Vault Hunter to date, and we're really excited for folks to you know, equip some energy blades and get slicing.
All right, and Harlow is also an interesting character.
They don't go into
Science,
detail
technology,
about
but has a
Rafa's
connection
skills.
To a well-known
We just get
Borderlands family.
more descriptions,
So,
but we don't get a
As
showcase
some
of the skills.
you rowdy, wonderful fans noticed, Harlow is part of the Trant family. And you can imagine, if you heard that 40 to 50 times a day, you would also pick up a book on theoretical physics. And so Harlow is joyful and brilliant, and she's got 5 PhDs. And she has this force of will and this drive. And why not use all that means and that creativity to just bend gravity to your will?
Yeah, I mean, scientists love to learn new things, especially when that means imploding or exploding your enemies. New ways to do that, right? We've already seen her, you know, destruct in this giant apparatus that fires like a disco ball of destruction. It's pretty cool. She can lift her enemies and slam them into the ground, and she even has quite a few gadgets that we haven't quite shown you guys yet, but they're pretty sweet.
All right, and Amon, he is apparently
so it's
a
not
part
Amon,
of
it's
a
Amon.
Vault Hunter worshiping clan, or Vault Monster worshiping clan. Tell us about him.
I will tell you that if you are going to worship vault monsters and decide to open a vault, that's not going to go well. And so he lost his entire family, he lost his spouse, he lost his friends, his community, and he sort of harnesses this deep grief to decide, well, you know what, a vault monster took something from me, so I'm gonna kill every last one of them. And he is a big, beefy daddy, but I will say there's also this really beautiful warrior poet side to him, and he wants to find community and connection. And
so he's basically Drax.
So single-mindedly,
He's basically
literally and figuratively forging his body into a weapon.
Yeah, and I mean, other than forging his body, he also has what we call forge drones that live in his spine and the side of his arm. He is literally able to psychically control them and manifest them into all kinds of weapons. I mean, he's got a sword, he's got an axe, he's got a hammer, he's got a shield, he's got a spear, he's got a whip.
This is a long list.
He's got everything that you might expect from a sci-fi Viking, because that's pretty, you know.
That's a lot of weapons for one character. Hold up,
Randy,
I heard sword, axe, hammer, spear, whip. Hold on, go back through that list again.
let's focus on the planet.
He's got everything that you might expect from a sci-fi Viking. He's got a whip. Weapons. I mean, he's got a sword, he's got an axe, he's got a hammer, he's got a shield, he's got a spear, he's got a whip.
This is a long list.
Sword, axe, hammer, shield, spear, whip. This dude's got like 6 different weapons that he can use, And that's going to be in his skill tree? Are there going to be specializations towards a specific weapon type? I have many questions. Because, one, we've already had a character that has a shield in the Borderlands game before. Not one where it's Zane and he could project a bubble shield around him, but really Athena. Really Athena and her shield that allows her to block all sorts of damage, and then it gets absorbed into the shield. This is during the pre-sequel. It gets absorbed into her shield starts to expand more and more and hum even more, and it has the capabilities of ricocheting between enemies, Captain America style. But I wonder what makes his ability to use a shield different from Athena's. Because I recently was playing the pre-sequel the other day, and how the gameplay works with her Alpus shield, or is it Alphys shield? I forget the exact name of it. How it works, I still remember how it works, being able to take damage and also heal Athena when she suffers damage, and, you know, like I said before, ricochet between enemies, and also basically just completely negate damage that's hitting her, and also make her shield throw even more powerful by absorbing all of that damage. I wonder how Amon's shield is going to work in comparison to Athena's.
He's got everything that you might expect from a sci-fi Viking, because that's pretty, you know, it's pretty great.
And Randy, let's focus on the planet Kairos a little bit. What can players expect as they're traversing this world?
Oh yeah. Well, look, it's if you're like a human living on Earth and you want to like go someplace safe, Kairos sucks. Like, you're fucking dead. Like, everything will kill you out there. If you're a Vault Hunter, it's awesome, because nobody gives a shit if you kill dudes and take their loot. It's also unbelievably amazing. There's incredible vistas and the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, and a range of different atmospheres. Now, some parts are pretty locked down. You know, the Timekeeper did get a hold of this place, and he's got his tamed center of the planet where he commands and controls everything. But out in the wilds, it's nuts. And also, even in that area, it's not safe unless you are, you know, on the side of the Order. So for a Vault Hunter, it's just everything's possible. And this is the biggest, by far, universe that we've built, and it's seamless. There's no load times. Just you see something anywhere on the screen, a mile away, up in the sky, you will be able to get there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gotta be one of the biggest things about this game. What do you mean everything is seamless? Mind you, we know this already. But just to hear that again, hey, if you see that in the distance, you can get to it. No load times, you can physically go there. Now, mind you, we've heard this before. We heard this before from Fallout 76. The only difference is Fallout 76 decided to use the same old foundation and not build something new in order for the game to work correctly. Because I highly doubt Borderlands 4 is going to release with 16 times the detail, and you need to walk up close like I do in order to get the full detail of stuff. So a seamless Borderlands that is also promoting endless boss fights, so that way you can farm bosses without having to leave your game, and it's seamless, meaning you can farm bosses in the same lobby your friends are, while your friends are off doing something else completely. Not only that, but gear is exclusive to the players who are in the instance of that particular player. So if I'm getting stuff and Gajil's playing with me, our stuff is exclusive to us. So his drops will not be the same. The drops that he sees will not be the same drops that I see. So he could get a legendary, I could get a green. He could get a blue, I could get a purple in that same instance. So this whole thing about Borderlands 4 being seamless, I imagine it's going to take up some size on my hard drive space. So some things will have to be sacrificed. I got a 2 terabyte SSD in my system. Some things may have to be sacrificed before I start messing with it. So, yeah.
And Grant, we have dynamic weather systems. Walk us through what players can expect.
Yeah, and Kairos, there will be a myriad of different storms, from rain to thunder to snow and dust. They won't have a direct impact on gameplay, like your damage isn't going to increase or decrease because you're in rain, but you will have vision obscurity, you will see some things harder and some things that are easier to see. So just be prepared and go out and kick some butt.
And Kairos is huge. You know, this is a fun place to explore. We're going to have story missions all over the place, but there's other things that you can do in the world. Grant, walk us through some of those as well.
A more
As
dynamic
players go
world.
through Kairos, they will have a myriad of things to kind of encounter, ranging from dynamic world bosses to NPCs that need help. All of these are just like loot chases, so anytime you do any of these, you'll be rewarded with good loot and like a loot chest and stuff. So be sure to stop and help the locals, be sure to kill the badasses that spawn, and try to fight the bosses that try to kill you.
And Randy, in our State of Play showcase, vaults were mentioned. Plural, what does that mean?
Plural is plural. Yes, there are vaults. Yes. you want me to give it all up right now?
No.
Yeah. One shoulder at a time, baby.
I'm a former journalist. I got to do it. And as I just said, Kairos is huge. How are we getting around?
Well, you know, you can do what you used to do, run and walk, and but there's a whole lot of new stuff. You could jump, of course, and you could double jump, and you could climb, and you could glide, and you could grapple. And one of the, you know, we've had some big environments in the past, but we've always, when we've wanted to traverse longer distances, you know, you've gone to a vehicle station and gotten in your truck or your car or whatever you're into. We kind of came up with this idea, like, what if I can just use Digistruct technology to bring my personal vehicle to me at any time, anywhere. And it's awesome. Like, I can just get on a bike and cook. And there's so many cool chassis and tons of customizations that you'll collect and loot. And it's freaking fun to just grab that. And if that's not cool enough for you, then you can grapple too and go. And that's fun. Yeah. It's a lot of ways to get around.
And I've spent a lot of time reading feedback from the State of Play. And one thing people are honing in on is the compass. And there's also, you know, this legacy of a mini map. Why do you think the compass is the way to go here for Borderlands 4?
And you're looking at me like you're going to throw the hard shit at me.
I'm giving you the hard one. Yeah.
All right. Well, look. Here's the deal. You guys haven't played the game yet. You know, obviously, when we did Borderlands 1, we didn't have a mini map, and we added it in Borderlands 2. And we noticed that there's some people online going like, wait, we haven't seen a mini map in what you've shown so far. What's going on there? I'll tell you the deal, and I'll just be straight with you. We made a big frickin' world, and a lot of the things you do can be local space, but a lot of the things you do or want to do are out there. And a local space map is not a good way to navigate when you're thinking about objectives and opportunities, several at the same time that might be miles away. And a compass really helps us do that. The other thing that the team really wanted to commit to, these guys are awesome, and they want to push the boundaries of design and environment. Instead of just a single flat plane, they embraced a lot of verticality. You're going to have more verticality in Borderlands 4 than you've ever seen before in a Borderlands game, by far. And when you have a layered environment, a top-down two-dimensional view is extremely confusing. But with a compass, with arrows that tell you if things are up or down, or you have a much better sense of spatial awareness. And we want you to play the game and not play the map. So we made a commitment, and we put all of that investment into this compass system. And you still have the big map. It's one click away. And we've put more cool stuff in there than we've ever done before. We even have like an AI-driven kind of navigation system that'll give you a GPS on the big map to show you the line of where you can go. And there's even an in-world companion Echo bot that has some features there that'll help you navigate. And there's a lot of tools that help you navigate. And you know, look, we're open to thinking about things in the future, but play the game first and understand the choices we've made. And I think you'll see and understand when you realize how big this world is and how playing the game in the world is better than playing the map. Yeah.
You just mentioned Echo 4, our new little companion, adorable little robot.
Now, real quick, I kind of have to agree with Randy here. I know a lot of people don't like to agree with Randy because a lot of people don't like Randy. But I gotta agree with Randy with the ideology of a lot of times when I'm navigating through Borderlands 2 or 3, it is very easy to always rely on the minimap on the corner rather than relying on my eyes. And when it comes to me playing games that don't have minimaps and I just have, the compass at the top, like for example, I'm playing Oblivion right now, and I find myself looking more towards the environment than I am looking towards like the overall map as a whole. The only time I really bring up the map is when I'm trying to get to a place that is further away than I could physically get to. Like I just want to teleport or fast travel to a location. But I understand where he's coming from simply because with the world being as big as it is, take this for example. The place you're trying to get to is miles away. What use is a mini map while you're trying to get to a location that's further away versus the compass over the top telling you how far you are? Because it's not like you're looking at the minimap to tell where you are when you could just look straight into the screen and look for your eyes to see how far away you are. So it's and the way I see it, it's kind of like people over relying on detective mode in the Batman Arkham series to the point where a lot of people spent a lot of their time just in detective mode so they can see everything rather than turning it off. I know for myself, I spent a lot of time just spamming detective mode in order to see in the Arkham series. And I think they toned it down or at least made it appear briefly before you could turn it off. Because you would spend a whole lot of time in detective mode just so you could see everything rather than relying on your eyes a whole lot of the time. So I understand where Randy's coming from. With this world being even bigger, a mini map of what's around you locally is not going to be as useful as basically a compass that gives you everything you need. And of course, you have the regular map where you can see everything else around you. But I understand what he means about everything is a compass on top of the screen, so that way you can look more at the screen and not the bottom corner of the screen. So I understand where he's coming from with that. But on to Echo 4.
April and Grant, I'd like to dive deeper into this bot.
Echo 4. So you can see what a charming little dude he is. He's a real chipper, helpful, very, very cute robot. And the animation team at Gearbox is extraordinary. And the work that they put into to make him emote and have this really sweet personality. And I'm going to lean forward and I'm going to look at you and you're going to look at me. I know you don't want to die and fight for your life. I understand that. But I need you to do it just once to see absolutely how sad Echo 4 gets when you die. So if you could just do it once for me, that's all I'm asking. But he not only just does a little robot tear when you cry, he's also actually a very helpful tool in the game, I guess.
Yeah, Echo 4 also controls a lot of your HUD, including giving you options to upgrade your SDUs. They also provide your rewards. So those that didn't want to talk to Lilith for the 30th time, you can now have your rewards delivered straight to you from Echo 4.
And you can customize them too, right?
Yeah, you can have many customizations for Echo 4.
So many.
Oh, the
Too
little
many.
bot can be
We can't tell all of
customized.
them, but there might be some hacks
He can be
involved.
customized.
And it's a companion navigation AI. So if you get lost, just your buddy will help you. Yeah.
Grant and Nick, let's dive into our guns. What can we expect from our manufacturers this time around?
Are there guns in this game?
There's a few.
Wait a minute.
They're just a little bit.
Two
Yo,
hands this
Designs,
time.
what's going on?
We have 5 returning favorite manufacturers, the Jacobs, Maliwan, Vladoff, TDOR, and Torg. Those are our 5 returning favorites. And then we have 3 brand new ones, the Ripper, Daedalus, and Order.
Yeah, and I mean, and we also have ones that are parts only, right? I mean, we got the Hyperion with the shields, COV, so you can make any gun into a heat gun, and then Atlas, so you can, shoot that sweet tracking.
Okay. So Atlas, Children of the Vault, and Hyperion guns are only going to be in the game as parts. They're not going to have full guns anymore. Goodbye, what is it, PQC system? QPC system, the overpowered gun that had its own little drone before they started to nerf it a little bit in Borderlands 3. Doing works before I take next week off. Awesome, 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 awesome. Ah, there it is. Okay, I was wondering why it was I was wondering why my stream was delayed a little bit. It was held back. It was held back. Okay, so yeah. Um Atlas is gone. Atlas is gone in Borderlands. Children of the Vault is gone in Borderlands, and Hyperion guns are gone in Borderlands. No more jackhammer gun. They only come back as parts. What we got is Jacobs, my favorite manufacturer in Borderlands, because one, you get the Unforgiven, you got the Skull Masher, you even have the Ionic Disruptor rifle, which is essentially the Mandalorian's disintegrator rifle from the series. But yeah, we got Jacobs. We got my favorite Jacobs. Like, you know I love being a gunslinger. That's the reason why I try to get my hands on every single Jacobs gun. Did you get a new router cable? I have not got the cable yet. I haven't got it yet, but I'll get that because I called our ISP. They told me that everything is fine on our end. I checked with them, ran tests with them. Everything is good. So I'm thinking it's probably time I get a brand new Ethernet cable. I didn't get it today, but I will get it. Priorities, mind you. So for right now, this is working out. What I'm doing right now, this is working out until I get myself a brand new cable. It's not my hardware. I think it's the cable. Since I've had it for so long, it's time to get a brand new one. But we got Jacobs, which is crit focus. We got Malawan, Vladoff, Tedior, Torg! And then we got the newer ones called Ripper, Daedalus, and the Order guns. I can only... With the... See, I love it when you get manufacturers from the faction that's trying to kill you in the Borderlands series. In Borderlands 1, I don't want to say that we got a ton of Dahl weapons, even though Dahl and the Crimson Lance and everyone from Commandant Steel and everyone, they were trying to... That was the big faction, aside from, you know, the psychos that were trying to take you out. In Borderlands 2, it was Hyperion. In Borderlands 3, it was Children of the Vault. And in Borderlands 4, we now have the Order. I can make you a new one, but yeah, Amazon one. Yeah, I'll give me a better one. But now we're getting the Order. I cannot wait to see how legendaries work in Borderlands 4. And we'll talk about this the next time I have like a Borderlands stream, about how legendaries just in next Borderlands 3 stream that I do, how often Borderlands legendaries drop. Borderlands 3 is in your library, but you never played it? Play it when you get the chance. I will say this, though. Many people regard it as a bit of a lower on the rung of favorite Borderlands games simply because of the story for Borderlands 3. Not so much the gameplay, because the gameplay is still very, very solid. It's just that most will say that the story is the lowest point for the game. And I myself have given my own opinions about Borderlands the many times that I've played it. Bring back Zero? Look. Well, they did say at the beginning that you're going to see some members of the Crimson Raiders again, but I really hope we see Zero. Because this also makes me wonder how much time has passed since Borderlands 3, between Borderlands 3 and 4, because I think it was 9 years past. I think it was either 9 or 7. I think it was 7 years past between Borderlands 2 and 3. That's the reason why everyone is so much older. But I wonder how much time has actually passed between Borderlands 3 and 4. But yeah, I would love to see Zero again. He was my favorite character to play in Borderlands 2, but I would love to see him again. Well, let's get back to these guns. Let's get back to the guns.
COV, so you can make any gun into a heat gun, and then Atlas, so you can, shoot that sweet tracking dart and go blasting, right?
Yes, there's nothing more satisfying than a homing Torg assault rifle.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. And let's
pretty
be
good.
honest, Hyperion guns are only useful for the shield. So
Yeah.
let's stop. I want my shield.
They
on
make
my,
good parts.
I want
Yeah.
my shield on my Maliwan elemental gun. That's what I want.
April, this is a community question. They're asking where Dahl is.
So Kairos has been locked off for like thousands and thousands and thousands of like Earth years, right? So nothing.
She keeps saying thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of Earth years. How long has this planet been hidden from literally everyone? Thousands and thousands and thousands of years? How old is the Timekeeper? Like I said before, this is the oldest villain in Borderlands history. How old is the Timekeeper? Actually, you know what? Let me look this up. They should make a Borderlands game that brings everyone back and makes them playable, or make custom characters and you choose how they play. I mean, they kind of did that whole create your own character and choose how they play with Borderlands, with Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. A 100,000 years? Who knows how old the Timekeeper actually is? That's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering.
Really gets in and out with ease. So they're sort of at the mercy of what ship crashed and what parts might be available. So Borderlands is a big, massive universe, so I promise you we probably haven't seen the last of Doll. But I will say, just enough Doll parts did fall. Echo 4 is Doll. So, hey, we gave you a little sweet Doll Echo buddy, so.
Grant, how do the licensed parts work? This could also be a community question. I've seen a lot of people asking, like, what agency they have with that system.
Yeah, so licensed parts are our way of describing behaviors from all the manufacturers that we love from Borderlands 3 and the ones that we've added in Borderlands 4. So because there are so many behaviors in the game now, we wanted to make sure that guns drop these behaviors in a kind of tiered fashion. There's no crafting in the game. Players can't modify or craft their guns to have specific licensed parts. They're just drops in the world, and the way they drop is on a tiered system. So from common all the way to legendary, there's different sets of behaviors you can get. Epic's having the most behaviors, and legendaries having one less behavior, but having their own unique behavior.
And can every gun have a TDR part that lets you throw it?
Every gun can have a TDR part that could be thrown.
And most guns have something called an underbarrel. This is not something new to the series, but we're leaning into it pretty heavily in this game.
Yeah,
Can you give us some examples?
Yeah, one of the favorite things from Borderlands 3 was adding underbarrels to a lot of our manufacturers. This time around,
Hybrid, you say, sorry. Hybrid, you say, if the Timekeeper's been there since the beginning, he gives me null vibes. That would be crazy if the Timekeeper, who's been around for thousands. Are we good now? We good to continue? Everybody all right? Everybody all right? Can we keep going? Sound off? Everybody good? Okay. So now we're running on Wi-Fi. We're running on Wi-Fi. I'ma continue. Still here? Awesome. Let's keep going. But yeah, you two, let me watch this cool VA in peace. You're too kind thinking that I'm an actor. Well, thank you. But yeah, let's continue.
we're taking it up. Things from Borderlands 3 was adding underbarrels to a lot of our manufacturers. This time around, we're taking it up a notch. Vladoff, again, has like the micro rockets. But that technology has now been licensed by other manufacturers too, so that you can have versions of micro rockets, such as the Jacobs having a micro rocket knife that is attached to the underbarrel of their gun, and they can fire it and it does an exploding shot. This can be coupled with other licensed part behaviors like a TDR thing, so when you throw a Jacobs gun with an but those around were
Not something new to the series, but we're really
It's buffering a lot. Yeah, this is so annoying. This is so annoying. It was going it was going well. It was going well. It was going nice. It was fine. Everything was fine. It was not doing that at first. No, it wasn't. It wasn't doing all of that at first. All right.
leaning into it pretty heavily in this game.
Yeah,
Can you give us some examples?
Yeah, one of the favorite things from Borderlands 3 was adding underbarrels to a lot of our manufacturers. This time around, we're taking it up a notch. Vladoff, again, has like the micro rockets, but that technology has now been licensed by other manufacturers too, so that you can have versions of micro rockets, such as the Jacobs having a micro rocket knife that is attached to the underbarrel of their gun, and they can fire it and it does an exploding shot. This can be coupled with other licensed part behaviors like a TDR thing, so when you throw a Jacobs gun with an underbarrel Vladoff, it'll have shooting micro rockets while flying in the air.
That's just awesome.
Yeah.
Grant, let's go into enhancements. That's another thing. Like,
Are we still buffering? I'm at my wit's end of what the problem is. I don't know why. I've done nothing wrong to nobody. I've done nothing wrong to my system. I can't for the life of me figure out why things are messing up the way they have been. This is the problem I've been going through for the past week and a half. What's going on, CDs? See, it's showing old stuff that I've already looked at. So now I'm trying to play catch up. Now I'm trying to play catch up to make sure everything is good. Things are still acting wonky for me. What's going on, Guy Giles? Good to see you. See, now I've caught up to where I am. Now I've caught up to where I am in the playback where I stopped. And it's not dropping frames, but the kilobytes per second keeps going from 4,000 to 2,000 to 0 and then to 2,000 and then to 0 again. How's the stream, brother? It's I'm still going through troubles here. I'm still going through problems that I don't need to be. It's weird. It is so weird how it's giving me so much trouble. Like switching to Wi-Fi, I should still be fine. Switching to Ethernet cable, I should still be fine. I feel it is something going on with OBS that just ain't working. I feel it is something going on with OBS. Because my internet works fine. Everything works fine. I honestly feel this is something related. I honestly feel that this is something related to OBS, and whatever update they did, they jacked up with the network for things to run smoothly. I think they jacked up. I think they jacked with it. They messed it up. Whatever this update did, they royally messed it up because it is running poorly for streaming. And I've never gone through this. Yeah, I know, Gajiel, I know. I honestly feel there's something going on with OBS. Because it wasn't until I got this newest update for OBS that things were going wrong. So maybe I need to uninstall and reinstall OBS to see if that will fix things. But stream is now synced up because I stopped the stream through OBS and then started it up again. So let's continue.
You're going to be kind of want to round up, specific manufacturers.
Enhancements, they come back in the form, they were called artifacts in BL3, and we're calling them enhancements in BL4. They're a way to modify the play style. So if you really favor a manufacturer like Jacobs and you want to have that crit behavior that kind of ricochets the bullet, you can have that on another gun that has a Jacobs.
I'm way more synced up to what you guys are saying now. There's not much of a delay in between.
So that now
so maybe I need to uninstall
can now
OBS.
ricochet their sticky gyrojets on other targets.
In our eagle-eyed community,
And then try to
something that
link
looks
everything
like
up
set
again,
bonuses.
because maybe it just needs a big old factory
Yeah, so for the
reset
first
for
time
the
ever, we're
program as a
adding,
whole. So I'm definitely going to try
firmware,
that
which is
later.
our
Definitely going
in-game
to try that
system,
later.
And it's one of our in-game systems to help boost the power of the gear. And as you can see in this screenshot, There's 3 parts to it, and if you can get all 3 parts, you get a big damage or utility increase.
That sounds like gears, like sets to me. That sounds, yeah.
Might be. Might be.
Might be.
Gear sets?
Previously,
in
heavy weapons
Borderlands?
took up a gear slot, but this has been changed in BL4. How much variety will players find in this new system?
What is that?
Ordnance
What is
our
that? A
new
T-Rex armadillo?
Revamped slot for grenades and heavy weapons. We no longer want players to kind of hold on
What
to
sort of
rocket
creature
ammo
is
and wait
that?
till, like one encounter and just pull out their big rocket launcher. Now players can use their heavy weapon, which is on the cooldown, and we can balance that accordingly so that big moments where they want to pull out a big laser beam or a rocket launcher or a chain gun, they can use it and mow down enemies and don't feel like they have to hoard that ammo or have to go find that ammo to go be able to use it. And in addition, we wanted to make sure that grenades kept their massive impact that they had in previous Borderlands games, but without being able to spam them constantly so that we had to balance them down to be really low damage or something like that. So now you can literally throw nuclear bombs with different behaviors because, again, they can have licensed parts too. So you can have like an artillery grenade that summons like a giant nuclear bomb. So
Also on cooldowns.
Nuke grenades in Borderlands. I haven't seen a nuke grenade since Fallout 4. Nuke grenades! Nuke grenades! What you mean, nuke grenades? So while we can't spam these things, grenades are way more powerful.
With different behaviors because, again, they can have licensed parts too. So you can have like an artillery grenade that summons like a giant nuclear bomb. So
Also on cooldowns.
also on cooldowns.
Yeah, so that's a big shift.
Yes.
Yeah, and this is another question from the community. How will shields and grenades work?
So grenades I just explained, but shields we're also amping them up too. We're adding a new shield type called armor, and that's a more offensive-focused shield type. We wanted to promote that kind
We're
of
getting
offensive
shields
gameplay.
and
so if
armor.
you're running and gunning and jumping into combat, your armor shield has a chance of regenerating in combat, so that you can be more offensively focused.
In this Borderlands game, Nick brings more variety to the characters than ever before. Our Vault Hunters.
Yeah.
What can we expect?
Yeah,
from those
look at
builds?
the difference
it should
between
be
one
the
singular skill tree for
most
Amara in
diverse
Borderlands
builds
3,
we've ever
and look
seen.
how it looks for
the skill trees are like
Vex.
2 to 3 times I think anything we've ever
2
done
to
before.
3
We
times!
have what's called like a trunk and then branches that let you specialize more than you've ever been able to do. And like it's not only my goal that I want to have a Vault Hunter be able to have a unique build for every tree. I want them to be like unique per branch. I want you and your friend to have the same action skill and have meaningfully different builds. And there is more than enough in this game for you.
So we could all have trouble, all 4 of us.
Yeah.
But they're all performing very
Completely different.
That's so cool.
That's
Randy,
scary. 4
these Vault
sirens on a
Hunters,
singular
I know
team.
you love them. What can players expect?
I mean, they're the best ones. we got the best. Look, I'll tell you, this is the simplest way I can talk about our Vault Hunters. My biggest customer is my wife. She loves Borderlands, and when we make her happy, it's a good day for me. And when we don't, it's not. There's usually one Vault Hunter where I'm like, this is definitely going to be Christie's Vault Hunter, and I put a huge amount of personal English on that character. This one's going to be challenging because there are at least 3 that have some variations in builds that are exactly right up the alley of what I know my wife loves, and that's just like a tilt on it. For my own choices, there's 2 that I'm probably just going to be flipping back and forth between. I think there's more for every player than there's ever been before because of the sophistication of the skill tree system that we've designed that is easy to get into and easy to develop, but there's like layers and nuance and subtlety that as you craft that character towards your own playstyle, you're going to find that, oh, this is me and I feel at home and comfortable. And we have more optionality than we've ever had before. So it's awesome, but it's going to be a tricky choice to
Oh
get
yeah.
that to it.
Every
Yeah.
time I boot it up, I'm like, oh.
I know.
Who do I want to play it?
Well, we've had our like regular play sessions where we're bouncing around too, you know, and
Yeah.
that's evidenced by like it's just all.
See, this is where the jealousy starts to set in. Oh, we're talking to you about our game, and we've just been playing it in our spare time while we're also developing it, and we're having a hard time choosing which characters to flip between, which is actually a good thing. That means that even the devs can't solidify to one specific character that they like above all else, and there are actual characters that, multiple characters that they flip-flop in between, which means that there's more to these characters as far as like play style and variability. Not like, oh, I'm only going to play as Mose with her infinite gun build, or I'm going to play as Zane and be able to essentially just teleport. Hold on, let me pull chat back up. Yeah, oh wait. Oh no, wait. Right, I had to refresh chat. So it's not like you were playing as Zane and thinking like, oh, I'm just going to go through the whole game, never play anyone else, and then just have my clone kill everything because he's pretty much overpowered. Here, it's like, okay, that even the devs themselves can't solidify to one specific character because there's just so much variety, which is good. And seeing as how the builds are going to be way more diverse this time, because let's be honest here, Borderlands 3, they gave you a ton of options as far as like how you wanted to do your builds, and then they introduced a fourth skill tree with the director's cut, and that varied up different playstyles and different builds after that point. Now we are getting new characters with skill trees that are 2 times the size of what we got from Borderlands 3, with the potential that we could either get an extension to the skill tree, like an additional spot, or we're getting just brand new Vault Hunters, because we didn't get any new Vault Hunters in Borderlands 3. But the potential is there after they said, like, at launch, one of the 4 characters you play at launch, and it insinuates that we could get some new characters after launch is done, and we could see, like, because we haven't had new Vault Hunter characters since Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel, with the pre-sequel bringing Aurelia and bringing Jack the Doppelganger, and then Borderlands 2 giving us Gage and Krieg. But Borderlands 3 skipped that and just gave us a skill tree extension. So if we get more Vault Hunters in Borderlands 3, I see that as a very good thing, because that will greatly increase the replayability. Because it's not going to be like, oh, I've already played Amara before, she's got a new skill tree, but it's just, I'm still playing Amara. No, it's going to be like, okay, I've already played all 4 of these Vault Hunters in 4 separate playthroughs. Now I got 2 more, or who knows how many they could do. They could. It's heavily insinuated that we could get more Vault Hunters. Then that you're playing through the story as even more new characters, a new play style, a new gameplay style, new skill trees, new weapons. It's just like there's so. Borderlands 3 is going to be good. I'm just going to go ahead and say it now. I think Borderlands 4. I said Borderlands 3. Borderlands 4 is going to be good. That's my overall opinion.
All really fucking good. Yeah.
Yeah, Nick, let's go a little deeper on this, showing Vault Hunters and Gear working together. For this example, let's focus on Vex and crowd control.
Yeah, so I mean, the third action skill that Vex has is actually called Deadringer. We didn't show it off much in the state of play, but eagle-eyed fans have seen a spectral version of Vex wielding a scythe. It's a charge skill that kind of lets you decide to either spawn the Reaper, which will taunt enemies to kind of take the heat off of you.
Bruh, she can have
decide to
3!
either spawn a Reaper.
She got
Vex
3!
wielding a scythe. It's a charge skill that kind of lets you decide to either spawn a Reaper, which will taunt enemies to kind of take the heat off of you, or to summon Spectres, which are the opposite, which just, they specialize in damage, but they're very fragile. So because of the fact that Vex applies her elemental attunement to whatever she summons, you can do something like, have a Malawan gun that has fire and cryo. You can switch to cryo, make a Reaper, slow down the enemies all around you, so that way they're, staying a safe distance, and then switch to fire and just spawn, another 2 Spectres behind them that'll just light up the enemies. There's so much possibility with Vex and elemental gameplay. It's really exciting.
You could put those anywhere on the battlefield, right? Like,
absolutely, yeah. And by the way, there's at least one class mod that will let you actually pass on your gear to Spectres, which is always pretty exciting.
No! No! She can do what Zane's clone can do, but she can have multiple of them on the field. No, 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 Vex. No, Vex. Okay, already. She's already better than Zane. She is already better than Zane. What do you mean there's a class mod where she can pass on the gear she has to her Spectres? And you mean to tell me that I can have not one, not two, but 3 of these Spectres out in different points of the map where I am just bodying everyone? And mind you, he said that they can be a bit fragile. That's the what is it? Dead ringer skill that she has. But you mean to tell me that she can have all of these clones out? All of these specters of herself out, and a class attachment will make it so that it basically copies my gear? So if I'm already powerful on my own with the gear that I find, I can make 3 other specters who could do that? It's Zane. That's as if Zane could make 3 other Digistruct clones of himself. And think about it. One Digistruct clone of Zane is already overpowered simply because if you put a Speedloading Hellwalker in its arms and it already copies your gear, it is deleting everything in that general direction. If it sees an enemy, that enemy is paste. It is mist. It is nothing instantly. It disappears the way the ground disappears when Yamamoto hit it with Zanka no Tachi. It is literally that. Now you're telling me that Vex can do that with her own Spectres and have 3 out in the field. So I could just make 3 Spectres in front and they copy my gear and we just open fire. And you mean to tell me that I could be in a party with other Sirens who have Dead Ringer? So that is 3, 6, 9, 12. That is 4 times the amount of Dead Ringer Spectres I could have around. 12. And then you add on the 4 other players who are already regular Sirens firing, and that is literally 16 Sirens that all have Dead Ringer in one place. That's only if you can get a lobby where it's just nothing but Sirens and they're all using Dead Ringer. But that's 16. That is 12 clones. 3, 6, 9, 12. 12 clones, 4 actual players. You're decimating anywhere that you are, especially if your build is right. I thought an entire party of Moes would be insane. Where a full party of 4 Moses in Borderlands 3 would be overpowered simply because it's just these people lined up in giant mech suits with their miniguns going and they're just destroying everything in front of them. Still have yet to come across a video where people are in a full squad full of Moes. I gotta look that up later. But the mere thought that Vex could have Dead Ringers out and a full squad of Vex players who all use Dead Ringer, you literally have a mini battalion of Sirens. I don't know what to do with that information. And you get to switch up the elements, so you just got a whole ton, a metric ton of different elements flying all over the place. Things are melting. Things are burning. Things are freezing. Things are being electrocuted all over. No. I love that.
That's awesome.
Grant on your gear to Spectre. Yeah. And by the way, there's at least one class mod that will let you actually pass on your gear to Spectres, which is always pretty exciting.
That's awesome. Grant, we talked in the State of Play showcase about
I'm happy.
Gear balance.
I'm happy. I'm happy hearing this.
Mattering again. Legendaries matter again. What did we do? What else have we done to improve the gear chase?
Yeah, because gear now has so many behaviors, and they ramp up and they escalate in the amount of things that can happen. We want to make sure that we adjust the complexity so that players aren't bombarded with so many behaviors right off the bat. So we've adjusted the kind of drop, the loot chase, so that when players are playing the game, they feel a natural progression of like, oh, okay, I'm adding more things to my gear, I'm adding more things to my gear, so that when they go and express themselves in the combat battlefield, they're not, just being mysteriously overwhelmed with so many things that are happening. And because of that, legendaries now have legendary power. They feel super strong. They come at moments, rare moments that when you open like a red loot chest or you kill a super rare boss. And when you get that unique legendary behavior, you're going to be like, oh, okay, this really changes the way the game plays. So we're reducing the amount of legendaries, but you're going to feel every single legendary when it drops.
Yeah, legendaries are legendary.
Let's
in
spoil
every
one.
sense.
Let's spoil one. Let's give the community one of them. What can we expect?
One of the legendaries that drops from one of the major bosses in the game is called Ruby's Grasp. And in the State of Play showcase, there's a boss with lots of hands, and Ruby's Grasp is just one that just won't let enemies get away. So,
By the way, did you clock the little subtlety there? It dropped from that boss. Does that mean dedicated drops from bosses?
What?
yes, yes.
The answer is yes. Yes.
Dedicated
The
loot
game will ship
drops.
with dedicated drops across the whole.
Yes! No more RNG of hoping that that one gun that you want could drop. Dedicated loot drops. Thank you. Thank you. Farming for the weapon that you want is back. I am so happy. Welcome back, CDs. Is this a new game? This is Borderlands 4. We're just checking out the PAX East theater show that happened earlier today, but I was doing a separate stream talking about people's favorite games. And you were there as well. You have a very good list of Final Fantasy games that you keep telling me to play, but I haven't gotten around to it. But dedicated loot drops for Borderlands 4. Thank you.
Whole game, every boss, every mini boss will have dedicated drops.
Randy, I'm going to throw you the last question here about co-op.
Because I play with my wife.
Yeah. Yes. What does it mean to Borderlands 4? What have we done that's a little different this time?
Co-op is a religion to us. Here's the thing. It's so awesome that Borderlands is freaking killer when you play alone. And we know a lot of people, they just want to do their own thing and don't want anybody else messing with them. And Borderlands 4 is an awesome solo game. But if you like co-op, it is best in class co-op by far. We have revamped the lobby system, so it's easier than ever to connect with people and easier than ever to get into a cooperative game. And it's drop in and drop out anytime you want. None of this play for.
I was in the middle of work when I was texting you when I wasn't supposed to. I was inside the freezer. Bruh, don't be putting yourself in the freezer trying to tune into me. Don't be putting your life at risk going in the freezer trying to text. No. No. Don't be doing all that. Don't be putting yourself in danger. Ooh, but let's check out what they're talking about.
Cooperative game. So it's easier than ever to connect with people.
With Borderlands.
Easier than ever to get into a cooperative.
Drop in, drop out online co-op for up to 4 players. So that's good. So if me and Godjill are playing and he's got a dip, I can keep going and he can join in at any time. Man, I needed a bit of a break. I can understand, but at the same time, be careful. I'm sure you going in the freezer, I'm sure that's normal to you. I understand. Trust me, I understand. I would sometimes take a break in the back as well when I needed to get away from everybody when I was working at Harris Teeter, so I can understand. I can definitely understand. But let's check all this stuff out. So we got drop in, drop out online co-op for up to 4 players, dynamic level scaling and individual difficulty, which means, if you guys didn't hear that part for the state of play, it means that if I set my difficulty to 1 and Godjill sets his to another, our individual games will be tuned to the difficulty for us, but we'll still be in the same instance. So it's, say for instance, I play on normal and he plays on hard. then the game will be tuned to hard for him while he's also playing with me, while my game is tuned to normal for me, and it doesn't conflict with each other. So that's good.
Cooperative game, and it's
Instance loot for each player, so our drops will be different while we're in the same instance. What appears, and I said this earlier, what appears for me will probably be very different for Godjiel, so that's good. Crossplay at launch. We didn't get crossplay for Borderlands 3 until much later on, but I'm glad that's actually a thing. Fast travel to your friends. You don't need to run to where I am. You get to fast travel directly to me, so you're not left out. Hallelujah! It took them long enough to implement this, and a lobby redesign with quality of life improvements.
Drop in and drop out anytime you want. None of this play for 3 hours and then you can start co-op. No, just get in from the get, and people can drop in and drop out. And, here's a cool one. Massive world, right? No load times. There's no like dog legs or anything like binding people together. What happens if like I go running off a million miles in one direction, my buddy goes off running? You can do that. You can do that. We don't care. Have at it. Have fun. Oh, but I want to get together again. Instant team fast travel. I can fast travel to any of my friends instantaneously, no matter where they are. It's cool. It's freaking cool. And no load times there either. It's just get into it.
Now, they talking about how big this game is and all this stuff they got in it. This joker gonna be 100 gigs, ain't it? This joker's gonna be 100 gigs. This joker's gonna be big. It's gonna be big. It's gonna take up so much space. Mind you, I'm gonna be playing my Switch 2 a good chunk of the time leading up to Borderlands 4 in September, but this thing is gonna be huge.
And look, here's the thing for me, like I'm in the game. We're all working our asses off, and the game's gonna launch, and we're gonna be like working on patches and future downloadable content, and my wife's gonna be playing, and she's gonna be like level 20 by the time I even like, okay, can I play with you? Dynamic level scaling. My level 1 chump can jump in her game, and the game will handle it. Even if I want to be on hard and she's on harder because she's a better gamer than me, it's cool. And also instance loot. So when the loot drops, there's loot for me and there's loot for her, and everybody's cool. And that's just like the beginning of our commitment to best-in-class co-op. We're leading the charge there. Other game developers, like, do it, man. I love your games too, but frick, man, why are you promising co-op and then gimping out? Like, give it to us. You can do it. Co-op.
Well, that's it for our Q&A.
Here's the thing, you guys. I'm looking at the clock. I want to give some stuff away. Do you mind if we switch modes for a minute? Okay. Yeah. Cool. I'm going to take over. Okay, so here's the thing. So I know you guys sometimes like when I do a magic trick. I'm not saying there won't be any magic, but because it might be. But you have to absolutely be convinced that this is fair, because.
Okay, so I think he talked about everything, and then he's playing games with people. I really just wanted, and apparently this looks like a shift code that you can enter into Borderlands 3 or any other games. Ain't gonna lie, he's saying all this stuff. I bet he ain't played the game. No one time. They probably told him this stuff. Just listen to him geeking out. He lying. Well, I take that back. Oh, no. These aren't the types of devs that say, like, oh, I played this game all the time. No, these are actual devs who actually play their own game. So, people can say what they will about Randy, but their people play their games. I mean, they've been doing this since the beginning. They are not just like, oh, I'm just watching people work on the game and I never touch it. If they say they played the game, they play the game. Trust me. They take this very seriously. In Borderlands 3's case, maybe not as seriously, but they do play their games. So it's not like he lying. It's not. He's not the press person that goes up in front of everyone and says like, oh, I've seen the game. It's absolutely amazing. No, he's the one that is essentially there helping people out with the game as well. So He ain't just there to be a set piece. He ain't like one of those devs that is there for PR, where he says like, oh, I've seen the game, it's absolutely He's not James Gunn, where he says, oh, The Flash, it's a fantastic movie, it flopped. Oh, Aquaman 2, it's a fantastic movie, it flopped. And he's just saying that everything's fantastic, and you go to the movies and you see it, and then it's garbage. He's not James Gunn trying to tell you that Superman is going to be one of the greatest movies that you've ever seen, regardless of how much people like the trailers, all right? He ain't James Gunn in terms of like the gaming community. He actually plays his stuff. So yeah, EA. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, that's what it seems like how he was talking. Oh, no. It's just that Randy can get very enthusiastic about things at times. And people can say what they want about Randy and what the stuff that he says, not overly controversial stuff, but just his overall behavior towards certain things. But at the core of it all, he just likes games. He just likes games. So yeah, let me see if there's anything more to this. Q&A.
Get the loot that you're going to give them from your shirt. So, well, that'll be out later. So awesome, you guys. Now we do have some time left, and there's some.
We did.
And there were some questions from the world. So we're going to do the hard questions now.
Noel.
Where are the questions
Waiting
at?
for those to come.
Noel? They're coming.
Here they
They're
come.
coming.
Yay,
there we are.
Questions. And Noel.
All right.
Did any of you guys, like, there were some people pulling questions from the line out there? Some of you guys, okay, we'll see.
Hopefully we can get to them. Let's fly through these.
Okay, we'll fly, speed round.
Grant, are Invincibles coming back?
Yes, to be announced in a later date.
Ooh.
Randy, we want to know more about the end game.
Yes.
We'll say more very soon.
Listen, we're going to talk more about Endgame soon, but and in fact, some of us are going on a press tour, and we're going to be showing some of that stuff. And we have an event coming up in June that we're affectionately calling our BFF event, and we're going to be kind of getting into some of that too. So, and we'll broadcast it, but there's also going to be people live, and some of your favorite streamers will be streaming from the event, so that'll be good. And that's coming up in June.
Good.
Grant,
We get to
do
find out
overworld
more.
Enemies respawn without save quitting.
Yes, overworld enemies do respawn, just like in previous games. It's on a timer. There will be a machine to respawn bosses and mini-bosses, though, based off how fast the player kills them.
Yeah, there's like a literal machine you could use to just make the boss reset so that you can grind them again if you want to get that dedicated loot drop.
Nick, will Badass Guardian rank make a return?
Yeah, there is an end game specialization system.
Yes!
That, it's going to
That's
be
what I
very
wanted to
similar
hear.
to the Badass system in the past games, but it's actually going to have meaningful choices. It won't just be like put points into this, that, and the other thing to get like a flat bonus. There will actually be behaviors, and you will have to make some hard choices. But we'll talk about that a little bit more later.
Turns out we're talking about a lot of endgame.
Okay. All
Randy, I
right.
got a
I
tough one
love
for
my
you here.
post-level progression.
For me?
I don't know the answer. I don't know.
Why
if
is
you
it
do.
always me that has to do the spicy ones? All right.
What will the game's price be? That's an interesting one. I don't know this.
Really now? I'll tell you the truth. I don't know. And that is the truth. I'll hit it. I'll hit it straight on. And it's an interesting time, right? We've got on one level, we've got a competitive marketplace where where the people that make those choices want to sell as many units as possible, and they want to be careful about people that are price sensitive. So there's some folks that don't want to see prices go up, even the ones deciding what the prices are. There's other folks accepting the reality that game budgets are increasing, and there's tariffs for the retail packaging, and like, it's getting gnarly out there, you guys. Borderlands 4 has more than twice the development budget than Borderlands 3. More than twice. The truth is, I don't know what the price is going to be. I do know that we will be opening pre-orders soon, TM, and that will be when the price is set. I think that Borderlands 4, here's the philosophy we have. Whatever the price is, we're entertainers. Yes, we want to get more resources so we can make bigger and better games. There's a reason why Borderlands 4 is so awesome. It's because you guys showed up and supported Borderlands 3. And we had the budget, so we could more than double the budget and feel confident in that. And that's awesome. When the revenue comes in, we can spend it to make bigger games and better games. As artists, we want everybody to have it. You know, we want to make it as easy as possible for everybody to enjoy what we're creating. So it's a weird thing, but the fundamental philosophy is we want people to buy it so we have the resources to make more, but we want everyone who buys and plays a Gearbox game to feel certain that they got the better end of the bargain. Whatever the price is, that they got the best value. And that's the philosophy that we live by. And so we're going to have a price set soon, and it might be the new price that like Nintendo and Microsoft have led with. It might be that we stay back. It's going to be the people at the publishing house that decide that. And if it is cheaper, then maybe we'll sell you that mini map that you guys want, but we'll develop later. How bad do you want that? $10? I don't know. I'm just kidding. Or am I? I'm just kidding. Or am I? I'm just kidding. Or am I? I don't know. We'll know soon.
Yeah.
I think it's going to
In
be
other
fun,
words, I think
whatever
it'll be
it ends up
between
being.
$60 to
$80.
$80. I don't know if
fucking
Borderlands
amazing,
is
and
going
it's
to
worth
be
it.
that
It's worth it.
expensive, though. I honestly
haven't
feel
got
they're
kicked off
probably not
stage
going
yet.
to
I'm just
raise
gonna
the
keep going
price
until
just
we
because of
we
everything
go
else going
until
on.
you guys leave or they kick us out. There's nobody on after us, so, yeah.
April, what is Ordinite used for?
Ordinite.
Yeah, what is Ordinite?
Ordinite
Yeah.
is sort of like the sister element to Iridium. And so it has an opposite effect. Ordinite is used for a lot of different things in the game that we don't want to quite talk about yet, but I will tell you this, it is not a currency. So it is not a currency, I promise.
Yeah.
But it will explode shit in some
One of the
ways.
goals when we were in the room, and I think I'm the one that actually named it, because I'm like, how cute is that? The Ordinite. The idea is that the Borderlands universe is much bigger than anyone thought. It's bigger than just the Iridians, and Ordinite is a part of that new larger puzzle that you didn't even know you were looking at.
Oh,
And we're
man.
excited to start peeling back those layers for everyone.
Man, now here's the
Nick,
thing. Real quick. See, he's bringing up the Iridians, and now I'm thinking, how much really older? They really shaky on that topic. If you're talking about the price, I'm pretty sure everyone is shaky on that topic. Ever since Nintendo started showing off like an $80 Mario Kart game, everyone is wondering just how much more expensive games are going to be. So it's not just them. I understand I understand the need to be shaky because you don't want to announce a game that's going to be very expensive and it doesn't live up to that price, and people who buy it, more than likely me, because I will be playing Borderlands 4 regardless of the price. I'm just going to get the standard edition and not the deluxe this time. But it's understandable for them to be treading on shaky ground because, one, they don't have a price set yet, and two, it's a tense topic to talk about. Oh yeah, Mario Kart is going to be $80. They were trying to get people to pre-order the bundle for along with the Nintendo Switch 2, and I says, no, I'm good with just the Switch itself. I'm good. But it's really because of, and mind you, we could say that PlayStation kind of started it by trying to sell the PlayStation 5 Pro, which does nothing more than just give you more graphical fidelity. It is akin to the Switch OLED, which does nothing but give you more fidelity, but not increase performance, despite the more vibrant screen. We could say it was the PlayStation. Well, actually, the Switch OLED kind of started it first. It's basically just because the Switch OLED doesn't run faster than my regular Switch, because my mom, she has the OLED. She has the Switch OLED. but it doesn't run things faster. It doesn't run things faster on her system. It runs things pretty much comparable to mine, which is just the base Switch. Then after that was PlayStation. So actually, Nintendo kind of started the trend of, hey, let's give these people the same exact console, a higher price, but the only thing it does is it has a more vibrant screen, a brighter screen. So it wasn't even PlayStation that did that first. Wait, your mom plays video games? Yes, she loves video games. She plays Carmen Sandiego on her Switch. She plays cooking games on her Switch. She plays Sims on PC alongside my sister. They will spend copious amounts of hours playing Sims. My mom and my youngest sister Lex, they both love playing Sims. They absolutely adore Sims. Despite me trying to warn my sister about EA and their practices of selling people copious amounts of DLC for things they can add as updates, she still continues to play Sims and get content packs for the game. And she prefers Sims on the PC because she gets to do downloadable content that you just can't do on consoles. Because she also has Sims 4 on console, on the PS4. Not mine, mind you, but the PS4 that's in the man cave. But yeah, my sister, she loves games, and my mom, she loves games. My other sister, she has a Switch, but I have yet to see her play it in recent months. It's been a minute. You already know where I stand when it comes to video games. I play them jokers all day. But yeah. But yeah, it's comparable to that. Better Sims than Skyrim? Look, she hasn't touched Skyrim in a long time, and if she did, she would probably repeat the Riverwood Massacre that she did all those years ago. I still can't believe she walked in, killed everyone in the village, and then when everyone was dead, including the quest giver that could point her in the next direction for the story mission of Skyrim, she says, okay, I'm done, and left. She left. She just left after she was done killing everybody. She says, well, I did what I wanted to do. Okay, I'm gone now. And she just walked out. But yeah, I come from a family. My family are gamers. My dad was playing games before I was even born. His favorite games to play was like Duke Nukem and Doom and a whole bunch of shooter games. Before I started to really get into PlayStation games, he was playing Call of Duty. He had all the old Call of Duty games on PlayStation 2, Call of Duty Big Red 1, all these different games, Medal of Honor, all these different games. And she even admitted it too. Yeah, I brought her in here when I was reacting to the customer complaints video, and she said like, "Yeah, I did it. It was fun." Huh? But yeah, that's my sister. She's always inquisitive about the types of games that I play too. I see. So you got your dad's trait for playing video games? Yes. But when it comes to playing video games and becoming masters of them, I get that from my mom. Because my mom is very competitive in terms of video games. She's very competitive when it comes to games. So I got that competitive side from her, where if I want to beat somebody in a game, such as a boss or prevail in games, and that's the reason why all the games you see me play on my channel, I beat, regardless of how hard they are, because I get that competitive nature from my mom. I got my game-playing nature from my dad, but I got my competitive nature for games from my mom. So, and I've turned into the expert game player that you see today. But yeah. But what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, like price increases for games and consoles. This is a very I wouldn't say it's a tense market right now, but it's a moment where people are really weighing the pros and cons of buying new consoles and buying new games. People are really thinking about whether it's worth it to get a brand new console or a brand new game, or if it's worth it to get the newest game that's coming out, because with different consoles coming out, increasing their prices for it, like the PlayStation Pro coming out which was pointless, by the way. And I say this as a main PlayStation user. The PlayStation Pro is literally unnecessary because the base PS5 does everything we need already. It's not like we play games to look at things with greater detail. No, we play games because we want to have fun, and if the game runs smoothly, that increases the fun. That is what matters most. Sure, graphics are nice to look at, but it's not what people play games for. If you have a photo mode, I can maybe, possibly, slightly understand why you would like some extra fidelity, but that's what quality mode for base games now is for, which the PlayStation 5 can achieve without issue. So a PlayStation 5 Pro is unnecessary because we already get more than enough fidelity on quality modes of video games without the need of a whole brand new console just to make it so that trees in the back look more like trees. No one pays attention to that all that much. I'm sorry. We're either caught up in the moment, or maybe we take a moment to take a screenshot with photo mode, with quality mode, and once we're done, we switch back to performance mode so that the game runs smoothly. That's me, okay? If I take pictures of a game, I switch it to quality mode so I get the best visual quality for taking pictures. And that's when I stop playing the game. When I go back to playing the game, I switch back to performance, which is way more important than just seeing that extra glisten or shine on my armor in Space Marine 2, or that extra foliage pattern of leaves in Horizon Forbidden West. That's performance trumps everything. So, when you get Nintendo increasing the prices of their games, with the first one being, and the reason why this one is so serious is simply because they know people will buy the next big Mario game. So they decided to push the envelope a little bit. And they will get away with it. Let's be honest, they will, because they're Nintendo. And unlike Disney, people still have good faith in them. But that's Mario. So let's just bide our time and see how things go going forward. I will say this, though. Xbox has absolutely no business trying to increase the price of their console and their games when they don't have anything worth any sort of price intake. That's crazy. All they did was literally look at Nintendo and said, hey, we can do that, but y'all ain't got nothing. Y'all ain't got nothing on your console to warrant a price increase of any kind. Nothing! But you want to increase the price of your console and your games, but you ain't got nothing? Y'all ain't got Doom, even though y'all showed it at y'all showcase. It's a multi-platform game, so it's not exclusive to y'all. Y'all ain't got nothing on your consoles to warrant a price increase. Nintendo, they got their Switch too. They can say we can increase the price just a little bit, but not too much because we still want people to buy our stuff. PlayStation, they really ain't increasing the price of their stuff because they fine. They fine. Xbox, they ain't got no business increasing the prices of nothing when they ain't got nothing. But that's a conversation for another time. I feel like I'm getting loud and irate. You're gonna have to forgive me. You're gonna have to forgive me because I don't understand how Xbox is gonna try and charge more for their games and console, and they ain't got nothing worth a price increase at all. Well, I'm just saying. But let's get back to this. So I can understand, going back to Randy, I can understand why people are being a bit shaky trying to announce prices for their game. Because understand, there's still development costs and everything. But at the same time, it is very shaky ground because people are wary about the price of games going forward. I don't even need to tell you how much people are anticipating how much Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to cost when it comes out next year. People are thinking, oh, this game's going to be $100. And given that trailer that we got, Grand Theft Auto 6? No, Grand Theft Auto 6! Because there was some thick peoples up in that trailer. I'm just going to say it. I didn't say it during the trailer, but during that trailer, there was some thick mamacitas in that trailer, and I'm just thinking, The Lord is good. So a lot of people are thinking maybe Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to increase its price and it's going to be one of the priciest games ever, given how it looks. It remains to be seen, but I know for a fact that we're going to see a lot more from the game. And apparently, in that trailer, Rockstar confirms that it was a mixture of gameplay and cutscenes, and I couldn't tell at all. That's how good the graphics are in GTA 6. I couldn't tell the difference between a cutscene and gameplay. That's bad. That means that the quality is that good. But the pricing of games going forward through this year and the next is going to be some of the most watched by gamers and people who play games and review games and do anything with games. It's going to be the most watched simply because of these significant prices that have suddenly creeped up. I wouldn't say creeped up, but have suddenly shown themselves. So it remains to be seen. My PlayStation was about to go in sleep mode. So it remains to be seen if things are going to get worse price-wise, or if they're going to stay as they are with only sporadic increases for certain games. Remains to be seen, but we'll see.
What will split screen look like?
There's for everyone.
Nick, what will split screen look like, and how does it work?
Yeah, I mean, it's split screen. It's, you know.
Is it hot dog or hamburger?
Horizontal.
What did you say, hot dog, hamburger?
Hot dog or hamburger style?
It's the. Wait,
That's the
That's
scientific term.
horizontal for the uninitiated.
It's horizontal.
Horizontal.
But couch co-op out of the gate, or remote co-op, or couch plus remote. Like, however you want to do it. Who does that anymore? We do that, MFers. We do that.
And Grant, what will the rarity levels be?
Ooh, rarity levels will go from common to legendary.
Thanks, Grant.
There's your,
We nailed it.
there's your,
Nailed
there's
it.
your gray. There's your green. There's your blue.
I don't like how you're saying that,
There's
by the
your
way.
purple.
And then there's orange.
There's your orange. There's your
Oh, hold on.
Is this Joker did this Joker just tease pearlescent weapons coming back? No. Stop! We haven't seen pearlescent weapons since Borderlands 2 and I think the pre-sequel. Is he teasing pearlescent weapons? Please don't be trolling nobody. Don't say pearlescent weapons in there. Don't even give a simple iota of pearlescent weapons. Because people have been wondering about pearlescent weapons for a long time since we haven't seen them at all.
I'm such a fucking troll.
Randy.
I'm such a troll.
Last one I'll ask here. After collecting vault key fragments, can you repeat the same vault over and over again?
Yes, you can.
Rerun your vaults.
Yes, rerun your vaults.
Awesome.
There's spectacular loot hidden behind.
You do have to start the entire game over. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That's it for us. But
Woo, you got through the questions.
I did. I did. We got through it all, but
Yeah. Oh, you were standing there?
I'm like, come on, we got to wrap it up. Let's go. Let's give a round of applause to everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Looks like they
Thank
went
you
on a little
so
bit long.
much. I really appreciate it.
Cheers, you guys.
All right, you all. Thank you. So, as Randy mentioned, we are hitting the road. Like, literally, Pitchford and Reiner and I are leaving this afternoon, going around the world on a trip. But we're coming to a place near you. In June, on June 21st, we've got the Borderlands Fan Fest event, and that's... Hi. Okay. We've got the Borderlands Fan Fest event on June 21st. We're going to be going to Billy World, and that'll be coming up in July. In August, we're going to be at Gamescom. We're also going to be at PAX West if you're in Seattle. And in October, we're going to be heading to PAX Australia. So I'm looking forward to that. But if you're here, where you're going is up to the Q Hall to get that poster signed. We're going to be hanging out up there doing autographs. So please come say hi to us, and we'd love to say hi to you. And we're going to do one more run of a trailer. All right, thanks you all. Let's hit the trailer.
And let's all just watch the trailer for Borderlands 4. A Gearbox software game. 2K Games presents.
What use is a Vault Hunter? What use is a killer? A brute. A rule-breaking, loot-taking, running and gunning natural disaster. You are, in a word, mayhem. I take that personally.
I don't want to say that's TC Carson as the voice of the Timekeeper. I can't wait, man. Neither can I, Godjill. Look, this game is going to be good, man. If we thought we were having some sessions with Monster Hunter and Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, we going to have some sessions with this, man.
Be advised, a citywide curfew has been enacted. Violators will be shot on sight.
Like the way characters look. Yes! And that was it for the PAX East showcase. For the PAX East showcase of Borderlands 4. So, needless to say, I am really looking forward to what this game has to offer. Let me see if, because also OBS has been giving me a little bit of trouble of me trying to stretch my camera down for some reason. So let me see if I can get it back without problems, without issues. I think I'm good, okay, but I'm still going to uninstall OBS once I'm done, just to ensure that everything is working properly, because it was, your girl is excited for the game. Hybrid, look, let me just say this. I am massively excited for Borderlands 4, and I wonder if anyone's brought up the fact that with Vex being able to use her Dead Ringer skill, you can bring up 3 Dead Ringers that are also there with you. And then being told that you have like a class mod where you can transfer all of the weapons and gear you have on you to all of your Dead Ringers. I bring this up again. The potential for a squad of 4 Sirens who are all using Dead Ringer, which will bring you 12 different Dead Ringer Spectres from different Sirens. On top of the 4, that is 16 people that are also able to run aggro and also take down enemies in a full squad. And you mean to tell me that's the potential we have for just Vex? That's all we know of Vex. We have her Phase Familiar, which is with Trouble, her cat, double, toil, and trouble. Then you have the Dead Ringer, and then you have Incarnate, which is that one where it gives her those big wings on her back, a la Lilith from Diablo 4. So that's just Vex. We still don't know the skills of Rafa, we don't know the skills of Harlow, and we don't know the skills of Amon. And I feel with the build diversity and how much bigger the game is, in comparison to size, in comparison to skill tree size, in comparison to quality of life improvements that is going to make this an amazing farming session for tons of people, I feel like this may end up being a more played Borderlands game than Borderlands 3 was for me. Because I poured, matter of fact, and I know it seems like I'm talking without it really open up my teeth a whole lot, because I don't open my jaw all that much when I'm speaking, but that's Destiny 2. Let me go over to my trophy list so I can look at how much time I put into Borderlands 4 when I was playing it on the PS4. So let me look that up. Let me arrange it by sort by most played. Borderlands 4 on the PS4. I mean Borderlands 3. Borderlands 3, not Borderlands 4. Borderlands 3 on my PS4, I put in 1,300 hours overall. 1,300 hours. And if I go down just a little ways the amount of hours I put into Borderlands 3 on the PS5 version is 756. Yeah, I meant 3. I meant 3, not Borderlands 4 on the PS4. I meant to say Borderlands 3 on the PS4. Borderlands 3 on the PS4. My bad. Sorry. I don't have early access to the games. I don't. My channel is not that big yet. But I put a considerable amount of hours into Borderlands. I want to say, in total, 756 plus 1,313. That is well over 2,000 hours worth of Borderlands time in just Borderlands 3 alone. So I imagine I am going to have so much significant fun with Borderlands 4, given the fact that it's even bigger than 3. Now, one of the things that is on a lot of people's minds is whether the story is going to be better. And they say they're going back to their roots that is akin to Borderlands 2, which already had a very good story. So it remains to be seen. We'll need to know some more story info. We'll need to see some more gameplay. And once they have this event popping up in June about gameplay for the game, we'll get to see what Endgame is like and hopefully see the types of skills that Rafa, Harlow, and Amon have, and maybe even get a peek of their skill trees as we continue throughout the year. Overall, I like this discussion because even though it was a little bit of small extra bits of information, this was still enough information for me to, cook up more discussions for Borderlands 4. But Borderlands 4 drops in September, and there's still other games I will be playing ahead of that. Overall, it's going to be fun. It's just going to be fun overall. I don't know what I did to make it work out just fine, but now everything's working out just fine, and we're not having any buffering issues, which is so weird, but I'm still going to uninstall and reinstall OBS just to see if that fixes anything, because I feel like I've had OBS on this system for a long time, and I've never had to uninstall it, so I'm just going to do it just to see if that solves the problem. If it isn't, then I got to figure something else out, or OBS needs to make another update so it's not butchering my entire job. So, but luckily I can make videos and upload them to all of you, so that's a completely different matter altogether. But I'm also happy that we're getting dedicated loot drops, which means that we can farm a boss for a specific drop that we want from them, that they will always drop. Like, they have a specific legendary attached to them, and being able to farm that same boss without having to leave your game is already a significant improvement over basically every single Borderlands before it. So not only is this going to be easier for us farmers who go that extra mile to get our hands on more guns, but it's also going to make it so that sessions can go on even longer for players without them having to save, quit, and reinvite all their friends, which is good, which means more time spent playing Borderlands and less time spending time in menus, unless you're leveling up and you're looking at your skill tree, like I tend to do a good chunk of the time. But overall, this was a nice little talk, and I'm glad I was able to react to it with all of you guys. Sorry for the technical problems. I will try my best to solidify it and see if OBS is the issue. If it is the issue, then I'll be glad when I uninstall and reinstall it. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And look forward to my session tomorrow as we continue more of Solo Leveling Ragnarok. So it should be fun. Also, this upcoming Sunday, I don't think I'm going to be reacting to the recap episode for Jewelry Bonnie in One Piece. So all we'll have is just the newest One Piece chapter and the newest Sakamoto Days chapter, and then I can just rest the rest of the day as I enjoy Mother's Day with my mother, as we all go out to eat. So it should be a fun time on Sunday, and then we'll continue with more Kaiju number 8 on Monday. I should be getting very close to basically completely catching up to the series. So, but yeah, I'll keep you guys more informed, and I still got to get the May update video out to you guys, because I gave a video for my members, but I got to get one out for all of you guys so you guys can stay in the know as well. Members just hear about it first. But yeah, overall, this was a nice little discussion, nice little panel, and it made me even more hopeful for how good Borderlands 4 is going to be, because I'm definitely buying it, and I am definitely going to be playing it, and there will be a series on the channel. Who knows how large the channel is going to be by the time Borderlands 4 comes out. I'm looking towards 10,000 subscribers before Borderlands 4. That's what I'm looking towards. We're still moving onwards to 100K, but 10K would be real nice before Borderlands 4. So let's work towards it, shall we? Thank you for all that you do for me. Gajeel, CDs, Hybrid, Designs, everyone who's watched me and seen everything that I've done. I just want to say how much I appreciate you. Thank you. Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. And because I know you're coming back anyway. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples!